Brian, who is currently. Hi, Morgan.
Hello, David.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I've, I was just introducing you, but you
I
rudely
interrupted.
interrupted. You rudely interrupted, yeah.
Sorry, David.
So, yeah, this is Morgan Brian. Um, so, Morgan currently plays for Chicago Red Stars and the US Women's National Team. How old are you? 26?
27. Just turned 27.
27. Just turned 27. And at the age of 27, she has won 2 World Cups, which isn't too shabby, is it? So, Morgan, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually outside in Chicago right now.
I can
Nice
tell
weather for a change.
it's
I've
not
been outside
snowing.
all day on my porch by myself.
Social distancing.
Yes, social distancing.
Can you see people from your porch?
Yes, walking the streets
Be careful. Make sure they're 6 foot away.
more than 6 feet.
Although now I hear it's 12. I don't know who to
Is it
believe.
12?
I believe so.
It's new
Um,
information every day.
we could just talk about my lighting. It makes me look very tan.
Yeah, look at you.
It's great.
Are you tan or is it the
No,
lighting?
I'm pale. Pale. The light doesn't even have a filter on it. It's just like it's basically blinding me.
I sat out
But
in the sun today and I got burnt. It was 65 degrees.
you should probably make better decisions because remember, any sort of tan is a burn.
Well,
Okay.
who thought 66 degrees would do that?
Um, I don't want to answer that because I might
Not
insult
me.
you. If you can see the sun and feel it, it's a
Sunscreen?
burn. Any sort of
No.
tan is a burn. Okay.
I don't know if that's the
Someone just
science,
said I've
but
got. Someone, did you see? Someone just said I've got interrogation lighting. Yeah, I feel like that. I wonder if I can turn it down. Hang
yeah,
on.
you do. Wait, am I interrogating you though?
No, that's better. Okay, so Morgan, what I'm using these I don't want to say interviews, these chats for is to give a different sort of background, different sort of angle to what you would give to magazines and other media outlets that aren't as cool as myself or soccer.com.
Okay.
Cole Walker is going to do the questions for us today. Cole is the face of soccer.com. He does all the boot reviews. He's awesome. So
Okay.
he's going to be looking through the questions,
And
and
sending him over?
I've got a few questions that I would like as well from my Instagram page.
Okay.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we start with a question from my Instagram page, and then we'll get into the development part, and then we'll finish light-hearted with some questions as well. So the first question, Morgan, I would
Okay.
like to. Can you unfold your arms? That body language that
Sorry.
says you're not comfortable.
I'm
We've known
so
each other for a long
comfortable. It's
time.
chill. That's
Well,
why I feel really
maybe.
comfortable.
Well, sun's out, guns out. Whose fault is that? Okay.
Okay, let's go. Ask me some
One of them's
questions.
about your workout. No, I don't want to ask you that. Okay. Wow. Wow. That is cut.
Did you like that?
Wow. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
let's go. Ask the question.
So the first question before we get serious is: you are stranded on a desert island. Or sorry, it says deserted island, but it's the same thing. What 3 teammates will you bring to survive?
To survive.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
This is always a good question.
Yeah, it's from Mose O'Hara on Instagram, which I think that means she's a fan of you and our other little favourite, Kelly O'Hara.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right. I think for some reason Alyssa Nair is popping into my head,
Hang on.
and I think
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
oh,
choose her for sure.
no one's going to mess with you if Alyssa's next to you, are they?
Exactly. Alyssa?
Even though it's a deserted island and there's no one on it, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. There might be animals, right? Um, And then I'll go with let's go with Brooke Elby. She's smart, you know.
Oh, she's very good at escape rooms.
Yeah. She'll figure out a way. She'll figure out a way to get us off the deserted island.
Annoyingly good. As in, no one else is allowed to go.
Exactly.
You know, when we did it with
unless
her,
you say stop,
we just sat down. We just let her do it. We were like, all right, do what you want.
Yeah. But I really like those escape rooms too. So I feel like we make a pretty good team, me and Brooke.
Okay.
And then my last one. I gotta have. I think I would probably go with. Gotta have someone for laughs. Lydia Williams.
Okay, that's a good little.
I gotta have someone for laughs and fun and keeping it light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so you chose Lydia for that?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Interesting. Someone's just asked where their package is. We don't actually ship the packages. Me and Morgan, we don't do that.
So, I don't know. We're not sure. You
might want to email soccer.com. Morgan, get back in your house and look for that package.
All right.
Okay. So.
All right, I'm done.
Right. So let's get into it. So what I'd like to do is for you to give us a little synopsis of your development growing up, because I know you played in Florida, but you're from Georgia. Go for it.
Wow. All right, I'll try and make it short. But before I played in Florida, I actually grew up playing on St. Simon's Island.
Your internet keeps cutting out.
It is? Okay.
Let me go inside. The bill?
Let me get some internet.
Did you pay Spectrum?
You're ridiculous.
Let me get some internet. Forceful. I know, right? But I'm trying to get the questions that you want the answers to. Okay. Hey, there you go. The internet.
Is this better?
Apparently, everyone's saying the internet was my problem. And I apologize. And thank you.
Okay, well, now I'm inside, so.
Thank you for doing your hair. It looks amazing. Okay. So,
yeah, I blow dried it. It's nice.
Okay. Thanks. So, you know, growing up, when did you start playing football?
I started playing when I was 4. And I actually was born in North Carolina. And so my sister played. And so I followed in her footsteps and wanted to play ever since she was a player.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, so, but I was saying before.
What's your sister called?
What's she called?
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Shout out to Jennifer.
Anyways, what I was saying before outside was that when I played on St. Simon's, I actually played 4 years up. And because it's such a small place that we only had, you know, so many players in each age group, that we just combined this big team with older players that I had to play on. And I think that was a big part of my development, especially when I was younger, playing against players that were 4 years older than me, bigger, faster, and stronger. So I had to think faster, and I was smaller. So for me, I had to get rid of the ball quicker and think faster than I would at any other age. So I think that was a huge part of my development that probably a lot of people don't know about. And then once I went to Florida, I played on a great club team with a lot of great players, and I had a great coach in Louis Torres, who I think, you know, develop players a lot differently than most, which, you know, very technical, small spaces, tight spaces. And I had probably 20 players on my club team go and play Division I soccer. And so he developed a lot of great players in that time period.
That's awesome. Yeah, Louis' class, huh? What was the club called?
Ponte Vedra Storm, but now it's Clay County Soccer Club.
CCUSA.
What is it?
Oh, no, CCUSA. Hang on a minute. Cheese getting in on the action. Did you see that?
No.
Did you ever play defeaters in club football, Morgan? That is from Chi.
Yeah, ask her how it went.
Chi, did it go better than your debut for the Real Madrid team when you lost 8-0?
We actually played Chi's club team. We played her club team at regionals.
This was a Texas team, huh?
It was like 4-2.
You won or lost?
Yeah, defeat her. No, we won for sure.
Yes. So you were on the. I'm not going to ask that yet. So you were like touted from a young age, right, as being a player. Obviously, you got eyes on you from youth national team scouts and everything. How do you think that you got from just like a decent player to a very, very good player, like to get scouted and everything like that?
I mean, I think there is really no secret, like to becoming elite. I think for me, I just think about all the hours and time and that I put into training when I was younger. And Louis Torres used to say about the 10,000 hour rule. And so he drilled that into my head. And I think, for me, everything I wanted to do was on the soccer field. I wanted to train all the time. And I always had this mindset and still do that, it's still never a finished product. And I think, I feel like you can still get better no matter how good you are at a certain thing, even your strengths. And so for me to keep that growth mindset of continuing to get better when I was younger was something that, pushed me forward into being great when I was younger. And then I obviously think, which you hate the story, but it's true. The story of me not making ODP and facing adversity and pushing through it.
I thought we said we weren't going to tell this story. Go ahead.
I didn't tell it.
Go ahead.
I didn't tell it.
Tell the story.
I'm not telling the story.
Can I tell it?
I mean, sure, but like you might not do it. You might make fun of it.
Morgan didn't make. This was back when like ODP was like massive, wasn't it?
It was the thing.
No ECNL, no DA, right? It was just ODP was like the thing locally and regionally. And Morgan got cut. Well, she didn't make it, right? You didn't make it?
Well, I didn't even make like the city ODP team.
Wow.
In Florida.
Wow. And then, so that obviously spurred you on to work harder and prove people wrong, right? Which is funny because a lot of the players that I work with have similar tipping points in their career where you could have either just accepted it, right? You accept one person's opinion of this girl's not good enough. And a lot of people are like, well, they know what they're talking about, so must be that, right? Or you turn around like, well, actually, I'm going to slap that opinion out of your mouth and show you how good I am. And you decided to go the other way of slapping that opinion out of the mouth. And what happened after that?
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. I feel like I've gone through these cycles in my career over and over and over again, and it's kind of how you respond to it. But the next year, you didn't want to tell the story?
No, I was going to let you come in.
The next year, I tried out for ODP, and I didn't really want to, but I made the state team and the A team, and then went to regionals and made the region team, and then went to the national ID camp and made the first national team. So within a year.
I thought it was 2 weeks.
Funny.
That was a joke. That's fantastic. And then I want to scoot forward a little bit. You won the U20s World Cup, and that was a solid roster, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Really, really good. Oh, that's a good question. What did you learn from playing with Lauren Holiday? Oh my word, Lauren Holiday, what a player!
What did I learn? Is that the question you're asking me?
No, I'm moving forward.
I actually just texted her recently after watching the World Cup final on that repeat.
There's no need to name drop.
Well, I texted her and I said, I miss playing with you. It was
How
so
good,
fun.
by the way, this is a good Cheney story, but that volley that she scored in that World Cup, and I've seen her afterwards, at the party, and I was like, Jane, like, that was ridiculous. And she's like, Dave, it's always stuck to me. She was, the ball came up in the air, and she's like, I don't know why, but in my mind, it was like a beach
Ball
ball,
was, yeah.
and I wasn't going to miss it. And I'm like, that always, like, I got chills saying that.
Yeah.
And it just always stuck to me. And I'm like, okay, what an amazing person as well.
I know.
Lot of love for Lauren Holiday. So you won the World Cup with a 20s, solid squad. Can we fast forward to UVA? We won't talk. Didn't you lose to UCLA? Who did you lose to?
Yes. We lost to UCLA in the semis, and then the next year Florida State in the final.
That's right, because I went to that. Yeah.
So still not over.
Let's move forward to, you get the call up for the full team. What happened?
What happened when? Once I got the call?
Yeah, like, how did that come around?
Well, Tim Ryder called me on my cell phone and
Who?
left a voicemail. Tim Ryder, the manager of the national team at the time. And I actually didn't pick up the phone because I didn't recognize the number. And then he left a voicemail. So then I listened to it and I was like, what? I was just kind of shocked. And then I called him back, and then he told me the good news. And to be honest, I was pretty emotional. And then I called my parents right away. And then obviously my next call was my club coach, Louis Torres, after that. And it was a moment that I feel like I'll never forget. I knew exactly where I was and what I was doing. And so for me, it was pretty special, but I also thought it was like a prank call to begin with.
But it's just a testament to hard work, though, right?
Yeah.
And then I want to skip forward, because I do want to get a bunch of people's questions in. I want to skip forward to the World Cup in 2015.
Okay.
And I actually love this, because you were still kind of under the radar, right? And then you came in and dominated that World Cup when you got your chance. What happened?
What happened? Well, I feel like when I was telling you before, like, about how that story and people's opinions of you and then proving people wrong, it just keeps playing on replay, it seems like. And that time was no different. I think in leading up to that World Cup, I was in the starting lineup for, 6 months before that. And then, 2 months before the World Cup, it was a coaching decision to not be in the lineup. And so for me, it was at such a young age on such a big stage, it was hard to, keep your mind and stay focused and ready, because, at that point, you're going to be needed at some point, with the role that I was going into the World Cup. And so it was a lot of days of putting in the mental work on the outside of the game to try and keep myself ready. And, who would have thought that Lauren Holiday would have been the one to get 2 yellow cards? But she did. And so for me, it was just kind of, once that happened, after that, what was it? Who did we play? Colombia. Jill came up to me and was just like, get yourself ready. Like, you're the next one up. And so after that, it was kind of just mentally preparing myself and knowing that if that was the only game I was going to play in that World Cup, that I needed to do my role and to the best of my ability. And I think, that China game was, a difference maker in the World Cup, for a lot of reasons. And so I feel like we kind of propelled forward after that game, and it was a changer in the tournament.
Yeah, because I don't know, like, I don't throw out compliments, right? You know that. But I feel like at times in that World Cup, when you got in, you're unplayable. Like, you just exuded, like, confidence, right? And it was brilliant to see. So you won that World Cup. Well done.
Going off that, though, like you talking about confidence, and what we were just talking about, Lauren Holiday was the person that probably helped me the most in all of that, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because in all reality, we loved playing together. I love playing with her. She's one of the best players I've ever played with. And, we're playing in the same position really. But she was the one that would, help me through it and tell me every single day leading up to that to be so good in training that they couldn't leave me off the field. So I think also her being an encouragement and support to me, especially once she got a yellow card and telling me to kill it and this is my chance. And then obviously I played in the rest of the games with her. So I think it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it's awesome. But that's just selfless as well, isn't it? Which I think sums Lauren up.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's fast forward again to this World Cup, which was a different experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, like you talk about situations repeating, it repeated. So you got cut before the World Cup, right?
Yeah, kind of.
For a camp, you were injured.
Yeah.
And then, so you missed a few camps. And it's such a tough environment, isn't it? Because if someone goes in and performs, you can't really blame the coaches because they've performed.
Yeah. Right.
So you went to the World Cup. Tell us about that experience compared to the first one.
Honestly, it was probably night and day in terms of, going into the 2015 World Cup. I had a feeling that I would be needed at some point, and the role I had more of an idea of my role in 2015 and I knew my role in 2019, obviously very different roles. But I think for me, like the difference between 2015 is it was almost like I had gone through so much adversity leading up to the 2019 World Cup that making the World Cup team was my ultimate goal. And that was what I was shooting for.
Yeah.
And obviously once you do that, we're so competitive that we want to play. We want to be more than just a player on the roster. But, for me, looking back on it, with everything I went through in the past 3 years, making the World Cup team was the ultimate goal. And then obviously during the World Cup, it was just a very different role than it was in 2015, which I feel like now I can say I've played almost every role on a team.
Yeah.
Which is, and it's not easy.
That being said, though, like it's still a very, very important role at a World Cup, right? Even if you're not on the field all the time, it's such an important role to be a positive influence around the camp, right?
For sure.
And I feel like, anyone who's played in that World Cup or any World Cup really has, they've achieved something only a handful of people on the planet achieve. So now you're in a situation where you're not currently in the mix. What are you doing to change people's minds?
Well, right now, nothing at the moment.
Corona.
Yeah, so I think, that was obviously there's a lot more at stake in this world right now, but in the off season, I focused on everything I needed to focus on in terms of getting stronger back to my, normal playing shape and doing things I needed to in the weight room. And then obviously working on a bunch of things that I haven't been able to work on in the past 3 off seasons because of injuries or not being in shape and fit to play.
What's your favorite drills and stuff to do? Because I know you probably train with Danny and other players. What is your favorite drills to do?
Well, I would say that I like doing a lot of like technical stuff and working on, as a midfielder, I like working on like facing forward and turning and passes and breaking lines. So whatever drills you can think of to do that. So yeah, I would say those. And then obviously I love working on shooting and long balls and working on that with both feet.
Is it true that you have one of the best shots on the national team?
I don't know. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like, I know that you've told me that people have said that before.
A player
I should
told me
probably
that.
shoot more.
I'm not going to mention names, but a player told me that who I would not expect to big someone else's shot up, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
and that person you're talking about, that's a pretty lofty thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because she's got a pretty good shot.
It's decent. We won't mention it. But that's like, from my perspective, that's one thing I've always thought you can do more of, like as a midfielder, is turn, drive at someone and take that risk to shoot, you know. So we'll figure it out. So let's get back to some fan questions. Because we were very serious for a little bit.
Yeah, that was
and
serious.
I'm not going to lie. Cole Walker is texting me saying, no more serious stuff, Dave. Okay.
I agree.
What is your favourite moment on the national team?
Favorite moment on the national team? I mean, the whole 2015 World Cup. Played in the backyard.
Favourite moment?
Moment?
Not
Fine, the Germany game.
Okay. Germany game.
The place was filled and it was inside, so all of the noise, it was just like magnified. I got chills.
Did you watch the replay of the Korea game the other day?
No.
Oh, mate, Kelly's goal in that game. Ooh.
Korea.
2015? Might have not been Korea.
I don't think so.
Okay. I've got one. Hang on. I'm trying to skip past my mistake. Hang on. Okay, what is it like having young people, both boys and girls, look up to you? We couldn't ask Annie that question, could we? Because they're the same size.
Yeah, what? Can you ask the question again?
What is it like having young people look up to you?
It's the best part of the job. I feel like you can have a real impact on young people, and we were in their shoes one day. So I feel like it's pretty...
You were in their shoes?
Yeah, theirs. Exactly theirs.
Who is the most underrated player you've played against?
Most underrated player I've played against.
You know who
I thought did really well in the World Cup? The Sharita Spitz girl. I just butchered that name, but from the Netherlands.
Okay. I thought they were all very good on the Netherlands, to be fair.
Yeah, but like underrated in a sense of she should have been one of the best, I felt like, in the tournament.
Okay.
But I don't think she got any recognition.
I'm not trying to fight you, bro. Relax. Who is the most difficult player you've ever played against, or the best player you've played against? Like a player that you've played against and you thought, oh, they're so good. Obviously, apart from me and pick up at camps that one time.
When I went and played in Lyon.
I'm sorry, Lyon? Where is that? Is that near Lyon? Is that near Lyon? Lyon? It's when I went and played.
Sorry, that was my Georgia accent.
Okay.
Lyon. Camille Abley.
Okay. And what made Camille special?
She has a very good soccer brain. Brilliant, technical, smart. And I love playing with her. She was good.
Okay, I've got 2 more questions, Morgan.
Okay, 2 more.
What are the top 3 most played songs on your phone? Or you kind of strike me as the person who would still have an iPod Nano.
Too bad I don't.
Okay.
Gosh. Should I just check?
Yeah, have a look.
All right.
Don't forget, guys, to follow me on TikTok at Beastmodesoccer. Morgan doesn't follow me because she said all you do is post soccer stuff. Funny that. What with me?
All Christian music.
Okay, it's all Christian music, so there's no gangster beats. I thought you'd have some Tupac in there.
No? It's not my most played. Definitely played.
No West Coast gangster? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm East Coast gangster.
Okay. We'll do 2 more. Sorry. What are you doing to stay fit at home?
I got a home gym. Want to see it?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. I got to move you. Here she is.
Okay, so you're working out. Looks like you might be doing some Zumba.
Yep, pretty much. We got some weights. We got foam rollers. We got balance pads, bands. We have the works. But yeah, I'm doing that. Today I went on a run and ran outside, social distancing, obviously.
Okay. That's interesting, thanks. The last question.
It's working out interesting.
Yeah, it is. I love the Peloton. If anybody's got a Peloton, follow me at Beastmodesoccer. You'll be able to laugh at how bad
Had to put a plug in there, huh?
Yeah. The last question is from my Instagram page, Bree_466. Where do you see women's soccer going in the future?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the 2015 World Cup, I think, had like 750 million viewers. And then the 2019 World Cup had over 1 billion. So I'm pretty sure the sky is the limit for women's soccer. And I think as the years progress and more people invest in the women's game and the game grows, I think it will be right on along up there with any other sport in the world.
Yeah, I feel like what's really exciting from my angle is that almost every team is becoming way more technical, and there's so many good games now. Right, from NWSL to international to the English League, like there's a lot of good games, and in the World Cup, you know, you're seeing games that you're actually sitting down thinking, yeah, this could be like a real good one, and that's always awesome. Okay, Morgan.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today here at soccer.com.
Thanks for having me.
Don't forget, guys, if you're struggling for ideas to train on your own, download the My Soccer Training app. Best individual training app on the planet, mysoccertraining.com. Don't forget to follow Morgan on Instagram. She's also got a TikTok but won't tell me the handle.
It's Morgan Gautrat, but I haven't posted anything yet.
Gautrat. That is
spell
Morgan's
that.
married name. It's French.
Do you know how to spell it?
Well, I'm just a bit confused that you can say Gautrat, but you can't say Lyon.
Well, it's my last name, so I hope I can say my last name.
Oh, relax, I'm not trying to fight you, bro.
You didn't spell my last name.
Gautrat, Gautrat.
Wow, did you look it up?
No, I have an IQ of 148, and I speak a little bit of French enough to order food in a restaurant. And for the French to turn around and say, your grammar is awful. Merci beaucoup.
Well, you tried at least.
I did. All right. So thank you very much for joining us. You're awesome. I will speak to you very, very soon. Shoot me a text.
Okay, sounds good, David. Thank
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.